Remember Al Pacino in Heat? Walks into the club at night to the source. Give me what you got. Give me what you got. We'll take them emails now. Thanks, John. The New York Times put out an article last night, literally as Bill Barr was on the air in an interview. It was a taped interview with Martha McCallum on Fox last night at 7 p.m. We covered it yesterday, the highlights from it. The Attorney General's on the air talking about the Spygate thing and who was going down. And as he's on the air, Joe, crazy how this happens. Crazy talk. Crazy. As he's on the air, the New York Times gets this explosive leak about how John Durham, a.k.a. Bull, John Durham is scrutinizing ex-CIA director's role, John Brennan, in the Russian interference findings. Leaks, Joe. I know. Amazing how that keeps happening. How the New York Times keeps getting these leaks from these deep staters right as information's being put out in real media outlets like Fox about how bad the Spygate scandal is. So the Times is clearly trying to get ahead of something. The question you need to ask, and I'm going to tell you today, is what are they trying to get ahead of? Well, we've been covering a lot of it for 2 years. So I'm going to cover just two lowlights. There are no highlights in a New York Times piece, from this New York Times piece, which basically confirms, again, the story we've been telling you for 2.5 years now about the information laundering operation, John Brennan's role in the CIA, and the spying on using foreign partners of U.S. persons in circumvention of U.S. laws. How that story is real, and you haven't been wasting your time. Without further ado, clip one from the New York Times piece. Check this out. I'm going to read this to you. This is just fascinating. So this is how it opens. It says, the federal prosecutor, talking about Durham, who's looking at the Russia investigation, has begun examining the role, Joseph, of former CIA Director John Brennan in how the intelligence community assessed Russia's 2016 election interference, according to 3 people briefed on the inquiry. John Durham, the U.S. attorney leading the investigation, has requested Brennan's emails, call logs, and other documents from the CIA, according to a person briefed on the inquiry. He wants to learn what Brennan told other officials, including FBI Director Comey, about the CIA's views of a notorious dossier of assertions about Russia and Trump's associates. Give them up. Give them up. Give them up. Show us the emails. Show. What did Jerry Maguire say? Show me the money. Show us the emails. Give them up. Now, what has been the operating theory on this show for the last 2 years? Ladies and gentlemen, the spying operation on the Trump team, this is very simple, did not start with the FBI. The FISA warrant to spy, the formal operation to go to the courts and spy on Carter Page and other Trump team members, was not the beginning. The deep staters want you to believe that was the beginning, and they want you to believe that started because of the Papadopoulos downer foreign government tip about Russians. Papadopoulos heard about Russians wanting to help us. That's not what happened. This started very simply because John Brennan, the CIA, and others likely wanted intel on Barack Obama's political opponents, but couldn't get it because there are U.S. laws that prevent the U.S. government from spying on its own citizens. But they had another place they could get it from, Joe. The Five E's, the Five Eyes partners, our friendly partners that are supposed to be cooperating on intelligence sharing to target terrorists and the like, not Barack Obama's political opponents. Do you understand that is the scandal? Why do you think in the beginning, the New York Times piece, why do you think John Durham, the U.S. attorney looking into this, wants all of what Brennan was talking about the dossier? If he believed Brennan, and we'll get to the video in a minute, that Brennan said he didn't investigate the dossier. Oh, I got his video. Don't go anywhere. Brennan said he didn't even see the dossier until December. If all that's true, to Joe, then what's Durham looking at? No problem. The dossier, the FBI used it, obviously, but Brennan's saying, I didn't see it till December. It was used to get a warrant in October. I don't have any pride. It had nothing to do with that. October, FBI gets a warrant based on the dossier. I didn't even see it till December. I'm good. If all that's true, then why is Durham saying, give us what you got? Give us what you got. Why is he doing that? Because he's just wasting his time on some fishing expedition? And why is the New York Times writing this piece now? Well, of course, the New York Times always gives up its motive. Remember, it's strictly a Pravda-like propaganda outlet. Pravda, of course, the Soviet Union's official newspaper. Yeah. This is the official newspaper of the Democrat Party. Let's go to the second take from this New York Times piece, where they give up exactly what their intention is here. Quote, Mr. Durham's pursuit of Mr. Brennan's records is certain to add to the accusations. Wait. Time out, T.O. Certain to add to the accusations. Keep in mind, what they're about to lay out is not an accusation. Oh. It's what the New York Times wants you to believe. Mr. Durham's pursuit of Mr. Brennan's records is certain to add to accusations that the president, President Trump, is using the Justice Department to go after his perceived enemies. Let me skip down to the second part of this. Mr. Durham is also examining whether Brennan privately contradicted his public comments, including his May testimony about both the dossier and about any debate among the intelligence agencies over their conclusions on Russia interference, the People said. So 2 takeaways in there. The first is the most important. The first is that the New York Times isn't telling you about legitimate accusations. The New York Times is leveling those accusations. You get what I'm saying, folks? The point of the New York Times piece is to advance a propaganda talking point by the left that this looking into of John Brennan's potential malfeasance and maybe criminality, I don't know what we're going to find, that this is strictly a political witch hunt by Trump. And they're saying, Joe, there are accusations out there. But yeah, from you. No serious person believes that. Serious people who've looked into Spygate know John Brennan's got a lot of splaining to do. Show me the money. Why do you think that piece was run last night as Bill Barr, Attorney General, was on Martha McCallum's show, dropping tactical nukes on John Brennan's melon and Jim Comey? Why do you think you think that happened by mistake? That a couple deep staters, 3 according to the story, leaked this? Folks, again, keep in mind the lead. They have absolutely no doubt our intelligence infrastructure was spying on political campaigns, notably Cruz, Carson, and Trump, using foreign partners in circumvention of U.S. law. There's no doubt about this anymore.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.